Hey, Gary.
Yeah, buddy.
What's a prime number?
Optimus.
If it didn't come through on the microphone, he said Optimus, which is
Optimus.
also correct.
Yes.
Which is also correct. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 457. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan, and we're going to continue our adventures through Duskmourn by talking about some of the legendary survivors. Now, hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
We're back. What is going down?
Whole ton is going down. We're going to talk about some horror movie homies. That's pretty good.
Oh,
We got some stories to tell, some people to thank, some things to bring people all the way up to speed on. Before we get to any of that, we have to thank our official business daddies, Fusion Gaming Online. They are your source for all your gaming needs. And Pile of Bones Brewing Co. They are the second coolest thing to come out of Regina. And also the official beer sponsor for CCO Sidewalk Slam Season 2 right here on YouTube.
Oh, and I do have a note in my show notes because there are notes here that say Sidewalk Slam Season 2 will commence. We have guests lined up. We just got to schedule a day that works for everybody because one of the people works shift work and sometimes it's days, sometimes it's nights. And it's got to work with producer Gary's packed full studio schedule. I can alliterate as well. So
like that.
Big thanks to producer Gary and the Damn Studio.
Yes.
Damn Network. Yeah. For letting us be here, being in the beautiful Paperboy studio.
Yeah, do you ever call it the brick?
The Brick.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sam said that the other day, and I almost shat myself. I was laughing so hard.
For those in the land of the free who don't have the brick, because I think it is a Canadian thing.
The brick is only in
I
Canadian?
think so. It's like a furniture store here.
Yeah. It's like disposable furniture. Like there's fast fashion that you buy off of Shein or Temu or whatever.
Yes.
The brick is that, but furniture.
There you
and
go.
expensive.
Oh. I don't shop at the brick because I have all the furniture that I need and it isn't disposable.
See, I need a new couch, but I don't want to go there.
Oh, well, but hey, if the brick wants to shill out some sponsorship money, we'll tell you to go to the brick.
Nah, we won't.
Yeah, okay. Well, you should go to FusionGamingOnline.com because that is actually a good place.
Yes, it is.
Just got me my Imskir Iron Beater. Used CCO Summer promo code, got a discount. Got the Showcase Profile Face one.
That's the one you want.
Yes, sir.
Foil or non-foil?
Non-foil because I want to paint it completely full art because he only has 98 lines of text and I want to every time have to look it up because I forget what it does.
Ah, yes.
So CCO Summer, you can see it on the TV now if you're watching on YouTube.
Which you should be.
Editor Joe hasn't had to exercise the which you should be graphic
Muscle
for a
and
while. Yeah. So big thanks to Editor Joe as well. CCO Summer going to get you a discount if it's your first time and you're spending over 100 Canadian dollars. That's like $4 USD.
Yep.
You can use CCO Perks promo code. You're going to get 10% store credit kickback. Like, I don't know, if you're buying a box of Duskmourn.
Which you might be doing.
Or buying the full set of all 4 pre-cons. They have those at Fusion. Or playmats, dice, tokens, stickers. No, stickers is us.
Yeah. Board games.
Yeah, playmats, D&D books. They got it all.
Back issues, secret lairs.
Yeah, back issues. That's what we have because we're old.
What?
Don't
I
lie.
see. Because
Don't
our
lie.
backs hurt.
Yes.
I understand. Yes.
Yep. Don't lie.
I thought I was still thinking about like comic books and
Yes.
subscription services from. I understand.
Yep. Hey, we got to shill for a couple more minutes. I mentioned stickers. We got some new ones. CommanderCookout.com. You can get my ebook there if you're interested in learning how to do your own altered art cards or book a lesson or commission there. That goes right to our email and we can see that. And, this one's my favorite because people are messaging me like left, right, and center. CCO Experience Calgary.
Yeah, baby.
She's coming up. We've labeled it a CCO Experience because we're not going to Vegas. And we've got like, oh man, so many people already like, hey, put my name down. You got to be a Patreon supporter over at patreon.com/CCO podcast to get in there. You get an invite. You can get in on the planning. We've got a thread in our Discord, which is another Patreon benefit. And another Patreon benefit, knowing that you're going to keep CCO like going.
Chugging along.
Because if it weren't for the patrons, the show would have died like a long time ago, right? Like there's an expense for the show and some of the equipment and the time and the editing and the software that we lease every month that helps us do all
Bandwidth and storage space.
yeah, to do all the stuff. So if you want to support the show and get cool benefits like the Discord and getting your decks featured and the CCO experience, even if you're not in the house, there's members of CCO Nation that are playing in like the main event in Calgary or the CEDH tournament in Calgary that aren't staying in our house because they're like studying up and
they're
like
trying too hard.
they're being all sweaty about it. You still get some of the swag and get to come to whatever it is, after parties and get in on all of the extracurriculars, I call them.
I hope that we get to stay in a big mansion. That'd be cool.
I have been looking at houses in
Big
like
mansions?
South Calgary. It's going to have to be a big house. I wouldn't necessarily call it a mansion.
I want a mansion.
But man, if enough people are interested and we gotta get a house that's got 20 bedrooms, man, I'll do it.
I want to stay in another place that has a spider that's so big we name him.
Yeah, that was the Bellevue Seattle house.
Yeah, Basement
And,
Kevin.
Man, that was a cool house. It had like the wraparound deck. Like the bedroom that I was in, I could go out on the patio and the deck went all the way around the house to like the living room and the kitchen. Yeah, cool place. Super cool place. So if you want to be part of that kind of stuff, I think producer Gary might even come. Maybe he'll take his old shitty car.
We've got a bunch of really cool decks that we're set in so we could even play.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, we've got so many deck submissions for producer Gary to learn.
Yeah.
What's
one of them is
probably going to happen, though, is we'll just make him go to Fusion Gaming and use CCO Perks promo code because it'll be his first time.
Yeah.
And he'll just buy a precon.
No.
Hey, man, we're talking about precons tomorrow on the bonus episode. No. At least one of them is really good.
Yeah.
And is going to lead to some games that are like fucked.
Yeah. I said it on the pre-show yesterday. I'm not that they're bad. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying that I'm not interested.
You're not feeling them.
I'm not feeling them.
Despite feeling the rest of the set,
I
think,
do
right?
like the set. I like the aesthetic. I like a lot of the stuff. My brain didn't comprehend initially how few legendary creatures are in it. And I was thinking about it on the way over to the studio today. I like how that kind of feeds into the horror aesthetic of the show. Or the set, I'm sorry. Because when you've got all these legendary creatures and heroes and planeswalkers and demigods running around, well, why are they afraid of zombies and ghosts and stuff? They're not. Like, look at Tyvar. He's like, yeah, I fucking punch all these guys in the face because I have one dimension to my character and it's punching. I'm popular. And they're like, well, why is he afraid of anything? But no, all the people in Duskmourn are just regular people running around trying to survive in this horrific environment where everything is trying to kill them. And it's just regular people running around. And that's something new. I like that. I'm a fan of it.
Like a 90s horror flick where some teenagers just get into some trouble that they ought not to be in.
Precisely.
So that's like a trope.
Yes.
Which I wanted to ask you about both today and on tomorrow's pre-con episode. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay.
Because there's two things Uncle Brando knows. We talked about on the pre-show.
Yeah.
He knows two things.
Yep.
First thing he knows. Brandology. How to act and work with a huge wiener.
Yep.
Yeah. And the second thing, horror movies.
Those are the two things I know about.
Especially terrible ones.
Oh, yeah. The worse, the better.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, one more thing.
Oh.
We forgot to do the giveaway on the pre-show yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, for the booster pack game, we have a randomly selected Patreon winner.
Yes.
To win a CCO sticker pack. Token pack?
Ooh.
Or a booster pack. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat.
Stop eating my people.
Yeah.
Stop eating them. What's wrong with you?
The patron. And I remember this nickname. If this is Parker Stockwell, get at us, commandercookout@gmail.com. You're the winner. Nickname? Parker Cocksmell. That is a mighty nickname.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like that one.
I like that one too.
I like that one.
Cocksmell.
Okay. Yeah, you're the winner.
Of the good nickname game and also of the thing. So at the Commander Cookout, gmail.com, full name, full address with postal or zip code.
Yes, sir.
And we know who you are, so get at us or else.
Yeah. Okay. This is kind of like an overarching topic that I guess is like over top of all of Duskmourn. The legends, the abilities, the precons, the cards in the set, over top everything. Okay. Do you recognize modern horror tropes that you would maybe find in movies? And I'm not talking about like vampires and werewolves like in Innistrad, like the classic horror tropes like Jekyll and Hyde and Frankenstein. And I'm not talking about cosmic horror like Lovecraftian Eldrazi. I'm not talking about that.
Although there is some of that also.
There is some of that in here, yeah, because we're kind of in a different dimension in this house or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I guess watch Commander Munchies when that comes out. But do we see what we were expecting when they said things like modern horror, slasher flicks, chainsaw, Leatherface? We got Meat Hook Massacre 2. That's kind of Leatherfacey. Do we see things like Buffalo Bill and Ghostface and Jason and Freddy Krueger? Are we getting that vibe?
Yes.
We are.
All of those things that you said exist in this movie somewhere. There's like
In this set.
Yes. There's like 4 cards that reference Saw. Oh. Not even including Saw.
I forgot about Saw.
Right? There's lots of cards that, like, do you want to play a game? There's the one where the 2 guys are like doing the tug of war over the great big buzzsaw trap. Ooh. And only one of them can walk out of the room alive. There's lots of those kinds of things. Annabelle makes an appearance on 2 cards. There's the one that everybody thinks about in their head that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
And then they have another card that's got like the real life Annabelle on it, which is really cool because she's not like this ornate, creepy doll like she is in the movies. And the real life Annabelle that exists in the Warrens Museum of Horrors is like a shitty old Raggedy Ann doll.
Oh, gross.
Right?
It's probably creepy as ass.
It's not covered in shit, but it is like this dirty old doll.
Oh, yeah, because it's just an old
Just
doll.
haunted as shit.
Yeah.
And there's an evil Jack in the Box called Attack in the Box, and I love that. It's not a legendary creature, but Attack in the Box.
Wait until we get like the Outdoorsman set, and it'll be Tackle in the Box. It's like a fishing tackle box.
And they've got a bunch of body horror in the thing. Like there's the tools, the new Batterskull, whatever the hell that thing's called. I can't remember. The surgery implements that are all like
Yeah, we'll
bloody
talk about that stuff. I think next week, hey, when we took a look at all our favorite cards and stuff.
Yeah, like
and we get those creepy like walker things that got those long legs and that can crawl on the roof and stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so
Creepy Peeper.
is that Creepy Peeper?
That's a movie. That's a card.
Oh.
It's a card in the set.
Yeah, I guess don't Google that.
I mean, it is a card. If you want to buy one, FusionGamingOnline.com.
There it is. This is what this is leading to. Is and I want to do this whenever we look at sets now, because over the last few sets we've been taking a little bit closer looks at sets, right? Looking at precons, looking at legends, looking at everything, right?
Not just cards, but the set in its...
Yeah. I think that's how we can provide some value to the listeners in answering this question specifically.
Okay.
What does Duskmourn, or any set, provide the greater magic sphere or landscape? What is it giving us in terms of abilities, interesting legends, new mechanics? I guess those are abilities. The overall aesthetic. Like, is it opening a door to something new? Are we getting that?
I'm opening a door to something new.
And the example I thought of is like the really top-down themed sets. Like Amonkhet is opening the door to this Egyptian world that we know exists in video games and in movies. And now we have, and in D&D, now we have it in Magic. Theros did that with like the Greek pantheon and old school classical Greek, right?
Yep.
This is opening up modern style horror and slasher flicks.
Now, based on some of the stuff I've heard, I don't think people are actually that pumped about that.
Oh,
Like when you're seeing baseball bats and the Ghostbuster guns and a literal cheerleader running away from a zombie. You know what I mean?
Come on. How could you not like it? But I
Right?
can understand why people don't.
I understand it as well.
Too modern, too real world.
It's
like,
just real life.
Like when we went to Stranger Things and Walking Dead for our first couple like secret layers, right? For the Universes Beyond.
Where it's just people in real life who are people right?
Mac and I talked about that on Commander History, that we went for like an hour just talking about that.
Yeah, I can get why people aren't behind it. I don't think it dilutes the game, but I I can see where people are coming from when they do that.
Makes it feel not like fantasy.
And the thing that I think Duskmourn adds to the greater game myself is I think that this is WotC kind of showing us that they are willing to not push Commander as hard as they have been.
Ooh, that's like meta. That's
Because when you look at this set, there's not very many legends.
No.
There's one new deck archetype that you're going to see, which is Doors, which they just fully fleshed out and put into this.
with a 5-color door commander.
Right? Like, we'll talk about
That
her.
sounds so stupid.
Well, the command door, it is stupid, and the deck isn't going to be good. Like, right? It's not.
Ooh, I didn't put that one together.
And so I think, but there isn't a lot of. There's some support for existing decks. Like there's a Miracles deck that they build. There's a whole bunch of graveyard stuff for those strategies. But I feel like a lot of the cards are more focused on the other constructed formats / sealed event stuff, right? And I think that that's kind of WotC saying, hey, look, like, we're still willing to do this, you guys. And as long as this set sells well, which I happen to have spoken with some retailers about, it is.
Oh, good.
But
Despite everybody that I've seen online saying, you know what, that's not for me. But it's still moving.
It's still moving based on the retailers that I've spoken to. And apparently the distributors didn't think that it was going to the point that they were sending out extra bonus free product to anybody that bought some.
Did you get some?
I did. I did actually. So, like in our local store, anybody who buys a box, the company sent our store 2 boxes of collector boosters. Everybody that buys a box gets a collector booster along with the promo card.
Oh, even if you buy a collector box?
Collector box gets one. Regular box gets
so you get
one.
like an extra 10% packs.
bonus box or whatever. And I mean, it's a pack.
Bonus box. Don't Google that.
But they're still like trying to encourage people to buy some sealed product, and I think that that's cool, but it also shows that maybe WotC has a little bit less confidence going into this one because it's not so focused on Commander. But I think that is a bonus where they're actually looking at the other formats and saying, hey, here's some shit for you guys.
You know what? I know when we go to the bigger face-to-face games, like I'm going to face-to-face's Command Fest, Duskmourn Command Fest launch in Toronto this weekend.
Yep.
We're recording this episode at a different time so I can be on a plane.
Yeah.
And I know that at least on Friday evening and Saturday all day, there's never any trouble firing sealed and drafts for the set du jour. But I'm going to do a little bit of extra homework. I'm going to talk to some of the retail people and some of the event staff and say, hey, like, how is Duskmourn doing? Are people excited to play the set? And are people buying the product at a higher clip than they would buy any other product that's launching the same weekend as the Command Fest? And are people picking up Duskmourn singles that you guys have in your showcases? There's going to be a bunch of retailers there.
Yeah.
And we've been to enough of these shows that I kind of know all of the workers and the owners of the retail locations. Fusion's going to be there, and face-to-face, we're partnered with both of those entities, and they're 2 of the biggest in Canada, at least. I know Canada's got like 10% of the population that like the Land of the Free has.
10% of the population of New York State.
Yeah, exactly. But there's still 35 million people here, and when you talk to some of the biggest retailers, you can get a good feel for it. So
I'm super nervous that you're going to be around all those retailers, and I'm not because of reasons that make
in case I can find a dark misprinted Griffin Canyon.
It's going to just ruin everything.
Oh no, it'll make my day.
Unless I've already reached out to them to make sure. And you'll never know.
Probably have. So, well, no, I know that you have because you've told me. So, Duskmourn Legends.
Yeah, let's do some. Let's actually talk about some cards.
Yeah.
Now, before we look at any specific cards, there's one that I'm going to take a stab at building, and everybody I think knows which one it is.
I know which one it is.
Is there one that you're thinking? Like, I know that you're still working on Dinksmear Metal Gorger or whatever from like 800 years ago. But is
literally one set ago.
One set and 5 releases ago.
Yeah.
Is there anything in here that you're gonna like put on the back burner of you're gonna think about it and build one?
I have some that I'm interested in the 99s.
Oh, yeah, lots of those.
Yeah. And I guess that's what I usually ask either at the start or the end of these are you going to build any? Are any going into your 99? Which one do you think is going to be the most popular in our meta that we're going to see? Not necessarily like which one's going to be on EDH Rec the most or which one's the best CEDH, but which one are we going to see?
Necrobloom.
Necrobloom.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah. Okay, 50 total, but some of those are reprints. 27 new, 8 of which are from the pre-con. So we're going to look at like 19 cards today, which is like the lowest amount since frickin' ever.
Oh, yeah, like 2009.
Yeah.
Maybe. I have no frame of reference for that.
We should also keep an eye out for which ones are going to be like Nadu and just like wreck the format. And just totally fuck everything, right?
There is one that I'm looking at. I'm not, oh, it's so broken, ban it. But I think that, let's start with Kona. That'll be our first card.
That's the one. Okay, first one. Kona Rescue Beastie. It's a 4/3 beast survivor for green 3. It's got survival. So at the beginning of your second main phase, if it's tapped because it attacked and lived or whatever, right? You may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Okay, you just get a free thing.
That's pretty good.
That's fine.
Yep. And on its face, I can see it just doing busted stuff. Like, that could represent a turn 2 Ulamog Kozilek.
Blightsteel
Colossus.
It
not
could.
Always, not often.
You ramp the shit out. You get turn 2, you got 4 mana, you play it, you have some way to tap it, and immediately have a Blightsteel on the battlefield on turn 2 or 3, ready to kill your opponent on turn 3 or 4 if it doesn't have haste.
Yes.
That's a pretty powerful guy. Now, I think it's kind of linear.
Very linear. It's not exciting, but it's strong.
It doesn't care about creature types. Like, sure, it goes in beast decks, but it's not going to lead a beast deck.
No.
Survivor decks are not a thing.
Nope.
I think this will be something that we see in the 99 as a way to cheat stuff in green decks that care about cheating stuff in, like Quicksilver Amulet, like Elvish Piper, like Sneak Attack.
But this is different because it's not just creatures.
Oh, it's a permanent card.
This is omniscience. This is more lands. You know what I mean? Like, there's all sorts of just really good stuff you can sneak in with this.
This is Darksteel Forge and then Shatter.
Yeah.
And all my stuff has Indestructible. This is stuff like that.
Yeah, this thing can do all sorts of really powerful stuff. In the 99 is probably more effective, but as the leader of a deck, you could have some really, really explosive turns based on how much...
World Spine Worm is another one, right?
Right, if you build her with like a few vehicles or some equipments maybe that let you tap her, right? Like, just easy ways to tap her really fast. So you can play her, tap her, get a thing. And some of those things you could get could be a lot to handle. And
there we go.
She costs 4 in a green deck. That's like 2.
That's like on turn 2.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, okay. I that one didn't stick out to me. It sort of feels like Kodama of the West Tree.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you put a permanent into play, you get another permanent. Yeah. Right? Like,
that costs 6.
That costs 6, but what's 6 in a green deck? Turn 3?
2.5.
Turn 2.5. Like, it's one turn slower than this, but you can kind of combo with it when you have stuff that bounces and replays and right.
Yeah.
Maybe these just go in the same Simic bullshit deck.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that too.
When you say, oh well, you could put Omniscience into play with this, or something like Dream Halls, or something like what's the one, Mind Over Matter.
That's
right. Those are just blue combo pieces that would love to be paired with a card like this, and then you're playing Simic bullshit.
Yeah.
Which isn't a Kona deck. Yeah, that's a Simic bullshit
deck. That's a Simic bullshit deck. Is the Kona deck going to exist? Maybe not, but I can see this being a kill on sight card virtually anytime it hits the table, because it's it's always going to do something cool.
Kona vehicle deck, because you can tap it at instant speed and then just be like, oh yeah, it's tapped and it's freaking still alive. Yeah. Okay, one that's not going to make a big impact. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one. Altenac, the thrice called.
Altenac, the thrice called.
Did I say it wrong?
Yes.
Altenac. Sure, the thrice called. It's a 7-drop 9/9 insect beast. Does have a relevant creature type in insect, and there is an insect commander in this deck.
Yep.
Tramsky, because of course. When it becomes the target of spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card.
Opponent's control.
Well, they might kill it, so you draw a card if they're like going to Doomblade it or something.
Well, I want
right?
it to be if it becomes the target of a spell or ability, period.
Yes,
Yeah.
but then it's a combo engine.
Yeah!
Then you go green 1, discard it from your hand, return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Neat.
I think you discard this and then you reanimate it, and it's a 9/9 on the cheap.
Yes.
And that makes it not your commander and probably in a Golgari deck.
Yeah.
I think that this card, it's at uncommon. I think this is like a build around uncommon type card that you're going to play in draft or sealed or something.
And it has a couple of cards that are with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
There's a couple of cards that like find it and bin it for you or
That's
something.
why it's a build around uncommon. This screams at 7 mana, screams, this is your sealed deck bomb. If you open this, you build around this one.
Yep.
And I don't think we're going to see this in Commander, specifically because if you want a 9/9, there's probably better ones.
Yeah.
If you want 7 drops, there's certainly better ones.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you
game winning ones,
Yeah,
right?
you want to play a 7-drop commander. You might as well have one that's going to win you the game.
Yeah.
If not right now, with some inevitability, this is a 9/9 with trample.
Yeah. Now, it is a bug, so it might see bug deck play. But,
In
but
bug
that's it.
decks.
Let's talk about a card that we are going to see.
Arabella Abandoned Doll.
Oh, yeah, this is a precon one.
That's right.
Arabella Abandoned Doll. Red, white, 1/3, legendary artifact creature toy. Sure.
Why not?
This is the Annabelle analog.
Correct.
See what I did there?
Yep, very well done.
When Arabella Abandoned Annabelle Doll attacks, holy fuck, it deals X damage to each opponent and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less.
I'm going to put this in 03 Sun's Glory.
I want this in any Boros tokens deck.
Yeah.
Now, if I can slap Indestructible on this, or put like slag skin armor or whatever it is, like the +0, +6 equipment on it,
Yep.
to give it 9 toughness and just attack with impunity either way,
Yep.
and I just have a bunch of dumbass tokens that I don't care about, not only am I going to be dealing double digits of damage every turn, my life total is going to be 100. So
Yeah.
I'm never going to have to block. This card is good. And at 2 mana.
It's a very good card at 2 mana.
That 2 mana.
And again, it's another Boros attacky commander. I just like this one because it's referencing something I like
Yep.
in Annabelle, and it goes right into my 03 Sun's Glory deck, which allows me to cut another stacks piece in order to put in another beat the shit out of you.
Hey, I
piece.
like that. This goes right into the Samurai double attack trigger guy that Smitty plays too.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
the Mardu guy?
Yeah.
Double attacks with this. He's
Yeah.
going to gain double life and he's going to deal double damage to each opponent.
Sick.
So not only does it act as like a 2-drop aggro Boros tokens commander, it also goes into the 99s and acts like a damage doubler in things that care about that. Never mind if you got freaking actual damage doublers in there. This
Right.
card's going to go crazy.
It's an uncommon, so it's going to cost you no money, which is really cool. You can pick up a really cool card on the cheap. That's awesome.
Does it have any special printings?
No. At uncommon, it will not.
It will not. You're right.
It'll have a foil and a non-foil. And it's listed, we're looking at a site, it's 41 United States cents. And I think that's because uncommons on these sites cost 41 United States cents.
Yeah,
That's
it ain't going to
just-
cost that much.
That's just what it is. If you go to the store, you can get it for a quarter. I can almost guarantee it.
Cool. Okay, Command Door.
Let's do the command door.
Okay, first one we're going to play in the 99. Annabella.
Yes.
First one. Okay, Command Door. This is Marina Vendrell. Wooburg, 3/5, human warlock, relevant creature types, if that matters. When it enters, reveal the top 7 of your library.
Dang.
That's frickin' lots. Put all enchantment cards from among them into your hand and the rest on the bottom in a random order. That's lots. That sounds like Niv Mizzet, reveal 10 and get all the guild colors. That sounds like...
That's literally Karth the Lion. Reveal the top 7, get all the Planeswalker cards.
Yep, it sounds like the what the frick is it? The Winota kind of sounds like that.
Yeah,
7's frickin' lots, man.
Yeah, 7 is a very big number. It's more than you think. It's like, well, 7 out of 100, but like 7's a lot.
That's a whole starting hand.
Yeah.
Just okay. So also tap, lock or unlock a door of target room you control. Activate as a sorcery. So that unlocks the enchantments that we saw,
Yes.
and some care about when they get on. I think they all care about. when you cast one, it's unlocked, right?
Yes.
And are there cards that care about when a door becomes unlocked?
Yes. There's Eerie, I think, is the keyword ability in this
Yes.
set, where
Yeah.
when you unlock a door, you have an effect.
When enchantment ETBs or when you fully unlock
A room.
all the doors in a room.
Yep. And
That's
then,
Eerie, yeah.
Then there's a couple that, what's the one I'm thinking of specifically? There's one that when you unlock the other side, you have a turn of Yawgmoth's Will.
Yes. Yep.
So that's...
It's a green one, right? You play lands from your graveyard,
Yeah.
or you can Yawgmoth's Will for the turn.
Yeah, and that's just for that turn. And then once you've done that, you have a fully unlocked room that lets you play lands from your graveyard.
Oh, fuck off. So you can lock that door
And you can lock it again
then
and do it again.
unlock it again the next turn by paying its mana cost is how you unlock it?
That's right.
5 to Yawgmoth's Will every turn?
Yep. I'm not...
You could bounce it and then pay the 3-cost door side
Yeah.
and then use this to unlock it and avoid the 5 mana. You just have to have a free way to like tap, bounce an enchantment or something. Like you could figure that out in a 5-color deck, couldn't you?
Absolutely you could.
Man, if you're not doing the door deck, which I think you could, and Yawgmoth's Will, straight to a guy's heart, right?
Yeah.
My favorite card. You could just go 5-color Enchantress with this, and it's a frickin' draw 7. Like,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, it's a good card. And it's not... It's cool, and it's focused in on a new mechanic from the set, but it's not pigeonholed into only doors.
I like that.
That's cool.
I think that all of those things are accurate and good.
I'm glad that they're making a 5-color card that isn't just generically awesome, but isn't so pigeonholed that you'll never see it anywhere ever.
But it is generically awesome because it says enchantment on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, talking about generically awesome, this next guy.
Oh.
This is the one that people were like going the most bonkers over because it combos the most different ways.
Yeah.
And we're talking about alliteration. This is Marvin Murderous Mimic.
He's a ventriloquist doll that was used to terrorize a person that liked it so much, he came back to life again by himself to beat ass.
Now, is this Chucky? Is this Goosebumps? What is this?
I get more the Goosebump guy. What's his name? Chippy? Do you remember the Goosebump? Is it Chippy?
I don't think
says
I don't think
Chippy.
it's Chippy. Chucky? No, not Chucky.
No, not Chucky.
No,
I
it's
thought
not
it was
Chucky.
Chippy. Well, whatever his name is, I'm getting Night of the Living Doll from Marvin the Murderous Mimic myself.
Okay. And man, his showcase art,
So cool.
freaking cool.
'Cause it's-
Who do you think he's voting for? If Slappy.
Slappy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you'd get the voting joke if you watched the pre-show yesterday.
Yeah, so it's like the puppet, and then the hand that would have worked the puppet, but it's dead, right? It's a skeleton hand that's up in his. It's fucking cool.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, right. Because he killed the guy that was doing the thing, and now he's his own.
What's
now
that?
He's his own man.
That hand is up his butt.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Well, it goes not up his butt. It goes into his back, and then and then you work his.
Well,
mouth.
it could be up his butt. No kink shaming in the
inside.
nation. Not even if you're a puppet.
What this card is?
Yes, sir.
Is a 2/2 for 2,
It's already good.
colorless
Toy.
creature, toy, artifact, legendary creature, artifact, whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. It has all activated abilities of all creatures that you control that don't have the same name as him.
So all your creatures.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what you do. You basically have any artifacts that tap for mana,
Yep.
and any artifacts that let you untap him,
Yep.
and cards with the ability that say untap, get an effect.
Yep.
And you just do that.
Yeah.
Like that's the deck, right?
Yeah.
You got your Thran Dynamos, you got
Well,
your
no, it's creatures.
oh sure, I'll turn my Thran Dynamo into a creature.
Sure.
Sure. I'll put a Mere Welder in there and exile a Thran Dynamo with my Mere Welder. So my Mere Welder is Marvin 2, and Marvin has all of the frickin' same abilities that the Mere Welder has, because the Mere Welder does the same exact thing.
Yep.
You thought Mere Welder was broken? Frickin' put this one in your command zone.
I didn't think Mirror Welder was that broken, actually.
No,
I thought
it isn't,
was
but it can
perfectly
be.
Fair. It can be, yes. Slow.
This guy costs less, does more. A Mere Galvanizer. It's the one that taps for 2. Nope. Mere.
No, Mirror Galvanizer is the Lord. I know the one you mean. It's the one that costs. It's the one that taps for 2. With the scrap basket, gives you unlimited untaps.
Pillapala untaps, and Farmstead Gleaner, the Scarecrow, untaps. Voltaic Construct, pay 2 to untap. You could pair it with +1 counters with, and I got EDH Rec open now. Cryptic Trilobite, Triskelion, Walking
Ballista.
Yeah. Oh, man. Steel Overseer, tap to put +1 counter on each artifact you control.
In short,
Palladium Mirror. That's what it is.
In short, this guy is Necrotic Ooze, but colorless and in your command zone and for things in play.
So you don't have to play black, and you can do all of the same things and more because it's in play.
I think that he's like you say, he's cracked. But I think he's held back a little bit by being a colorless card, so you don't have access to lots of the stuff that's just gonna dumpster your whole deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's held back a little bit by the fact that he's another artifact combo deck that happens to have to rely on having a bunch of shit in play as opposed to just tinkering with the machine. But overall, I think it's a really neat card.
Yeah. And you're going to know what it's trying to do as soon as you see it.
Yep.
Right? It's not a toy deck. No, it's an artifact combo deck. So just be aware.
And you could put it in something like a Krenko or something, like, when your commander just has a really cool activated ability, you can just throw Marvin in there. And
it acts kind of like a Panharmonicon.
Yeah.
Panharmonicon number 6.
Yeah. It's Krenko, it's Silvala, it's all those kind of cool, just tap your commander, do a thing.
Yep.
And there it is.
So it acts as a 2-mana kind of like ability doubler.
It's just a really neat utility card. I like him, and I really, really like
I didn't think you were going to like this one.
I do.
Oh,
see, it's a cool utility card.
Put them in your goblin decks, everybody.
Yep.
Okay, Nashi, Searcher of the Dark. I don't like this one. It's
either.
a 2/2 rat ninja wizard. All relevant creature types, all creature types that, other than wizards, because I like playing mono blue wizards, can pound sand. Menace, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, I mill that many cards. That's pretty cool. Okay, I get to mill that many cards. And then you may put any number of legendary and or enchantment cards from among the milled cards into your hand. If no cards are put into your hand this way, you put 1+1 on them. So I guess if you put them in your blue inclusive rat deck, that's fine.
Sure.
If you put them in your black inclusive enchantress decks, that's fine. But he's only going to reveal the top 2 unless you pump him. I really like this guy with a little card called Hatred, and I pay like 30 life to give him +30 at instant speed when he's not blocked. I reveal the top 30 and find like tutor for an enchantment combo piece. I really like that one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That seems too utility for me.
That seems like...
He's not. I don't think he is an exciting card. I think that he goes into the 99 of a deck and is just there to do exactly what you just said. Because that's the only thing this guy's probably ever going to do. Because who wants to build a where you have to get in with your little pitiful commander over and over and over again and then not do the value thing out of the bin so that you can make him bigger? Like that.
I think he goes as one of your 13 creatures in your limited deck, and you try and reveal doors with him to draw like a second card per turn.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
There it is.
Okay.
We got there.
Here's one that I think that you like.
I do.
This is
do.
Nico, Light of Hope. And we've seen Nico before on a Planeswalker who cares about shard tokens.
Shards.
And we get that again. Okay, so blue, white, 2, 3, 4, human wizard, relevant creature types. When he enters, create 2 shard tokens. Mm-hmm. Those are specifically enchantments. And they have 2, sacrifice, scry 1, draw a card.
Neat.
Those are actually good little tokens.
Yeah, they're cool tokens.
Scry then draw is good. And also, 2 tap, exile target non-legend creature you control. Shards you control become copies of it until the beginning of your next end step. Mm-hmm. So you could do this at instant speed, hey?
That's right.
Okay, and then they stay that way for a long time.
Yeah.
Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step.
Correct.
So you get the creature back.
Yep.
But your shards become, like, they stay that.
Yeah.
So this is like blink, because he's got a blink ability there.
Yep.
And clone.
Yep. And ETBs.
And ETBs. So, like, we've got the ETB Blink deck in Azorius already,
Sure.
which I know that you're not a fan of because
Yeah.
they kind of all feel the same.
They're a little
They play
dirty.
Ghostly Flicker and Ephemerate and
Yeah.
Brago or whatever his name is, right?
Yeah, that
But
guy.
this one lets you clone.
I like this one.
I think Uncle
is a fun
Brando
one.
might have an Azorius clone deck
Because
cooking up.
I would like to clone your things.
Yes.
Then I will turn my shards into those things.
Yes.
And then I can make my clone go away, and the clone comes back in and clones something else. I like this card.
And with your ephemerates and ghostly flickers and spells that copy things like that, you could flicker Nico a bunch of times.
To get more shards.
To get more shards. Yeah, he's got some terrible underwear. He's going to Costco like every week.
Yep. And for the record, the shard token looks really cool. Also,
there you go.
It'll probably, if you're watching on YouTube, it'll be one. There'll be one on the screen. I think they're really neat. I got one in a pack, and it's foily and it's cool.
There you
like
go.
it. I like them a lot.
Okay, so this might be one that you, if you took apart a clone deck that you had and you wanted to add white to it to get better removal and do the blink thing, you could do this.
I would do it. If I'm going to build a blink deck, it's probably going to be this one. I just have to find one of that card.
There you go. Yeah. It's a mythic, eh? Doesn't feel mythic, but
it doesn't. No,
it's probably good and limited, so they make it.
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
Here's one that you're gonna build.
Yeah,
here
baby.
we go.
This is for me. This is me. This is it. Read it.
Norrin Swift Survivalist.
Goddamn right.
2/1 Human Coward for red.
Yep, for red.
Norrin Swift Survivalist can't block.
Who cares?
Who cares? Don't care. He didn't block anyways.
That's right.
Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may exile it. You may play cards that were exiled this turn.
Yeah.
So
that's red ETBs. And here's why I like it. Because if I can fill my deck up with enough red ETB stuff and then attack you with them, it's going to give you, as my opponent, a very difficult decision tree to make. Oh man, do I block that Cockslide Extortionist that has a Quietus spike on it? Or do I block it and he gets to do Cockslide Extortionist again?
Dude, this is one of the ones that I actually looked into to say, what can we do with this?
Like, and because there's way more stuff than you think about. Like, it's not just Dockside and Siege Gang Commander and Flame Tongue Kavu and all these guys. Right? There's lots of stuff that when they come into play, they do neat shit.
And because you're casting it, you would maybe be encouraged with something like Braid of Fire and things that build mana turn over turn. Things like Neheb that gives you mana equal to damage dealt. Yep. You could do rituals. You could do things like, invasion plans where it says each creature has to be blocked and we get to choose how blocks are declared. Ooh. So your creatures get blocked, they automatically exile. And then if they're 1 and 2 drops with ETBs like destroy an artifact or get treasure or whatever, you just freaking cast them again. And Dockside lets you just immediately cast them all again. And in the last couple of years, we've gotten in red actually a few things that say when you cast this from anywhere other than your hand.
Yeah,
or
buddy.
In my Cascade deck, Wild Magic Sorcerer, the first spell you cast from exile, like where Norrin puts it, gains Cascade. So you're actually doubling up and getting like crazy value because Cascade is ridiculous and should have never existed, right? So this card is like, man, super good. Cool. And you know what the funniest thing about this Norrin card is it cares about everybody else ETBing, not Norrin.
Yeah, but it's the exact opposite of what my Norrin deck that I have now does.
But you could put all the same cards in it, like Purphoros and Impact Tremors and all the double ETB and double trigger stuff.
I'm not going to do that.
That you already play.
But I could.
But you could.
I'm not going to, but I could. And I would.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put Norrin regular in there too.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So you get like a double? He phases himself out and you just frickin' cast him?
Yeah.
I suppose he only costs 1 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever I want.
Okay. So that's cool. And you're gonna build.
I'm gonna build Norrin the Survivalist. I think it's gonna be cool. If you have any suggestions or tech, let me know.
There we go.
Because I will try and include it. Because I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be a cool deck.
Rip Spawn Hunter. Rip Spawn Hunter is it.
Rip Spawn Hunter.
White green 2, 4/4 human survivor with survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if it's tapped and not dead, you look at the top X of your library where X is its power, so probably 4, and put any number of creatures and or vehicle cards from among them into your hand. Rest in the bottom random order.
I'm going to tell you who this actually is.
Okay.
Marty McFly. And that's why he cares about vehicles. Marty McFly from Back to the Future?
I know.
Look at him. Look at his fucking face.
That's who it's supposed to be?
That's definitely Marty McFly. He's wearing the future jacket that like resizes itself, and he gives a shit about vehicles when there's no vehicles in this set. This is obviously a fallen through Back to the Future crossover they were trying to do.
Isn't this a girl?
Can Marty McFly not be a girl?
I suppose.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's what that is. I think.
Is this supposed to be maybe like a ghost hunter? What's this gun that they have?
I don't
Is that a ghost shooting gun?
It's a camera.
I think this goes in the 99 of vehicle decks.
Yeah.
I don't think it. Okay, vehicles and white go hand in hand, right? They got the pilots and stuff that you can play in vehicle decks that can crew up.
Yep.
This lets you do green white, so you can add vehicles like a Seeker's Chariot and a bunch of like mana production and token producers. So this is like, sure.
And when the DeLorean comes out, we have somebody to drive it.
Oh, Back to the Future Secret Lair? When?
Yeah.
We just got Ghostbusters.
Who are you going to call?
Marty McFly. The Jolly Balloon Man. Who is this?
Pennywise the Clown.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
We all float here.
Did you notice that the balloons he's blowing up are people's heads?
Yes.
That is fantastic.
I like that card lots. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but I'm going to play this card. I'm going to play it. I don't know where, and I don't know for what, but I'm playing this. I like this card
I have
a lot.
a very short-sighted and kind of like precise take as to where this goes and why it exists.
Okay.
Okay, so things like Felidar Guardian, Village Bell Ringer, ETB, they untap something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those combo with Kiki Jiki,
Mm-hmm.
right? You following me so far?
Mm-hmm.
One's white, one's red. Kiki Jiki, mono red, so you can't play Felidar Guardian in your Kiki Jiki deck, right? You can only do Zealous Conscripts, which could also go in this deck because red.
Yes.
Jolly Balloon Man, mana cost, white, red, 1. He's your Kiki Jiki deck thing, okay?
So he's fixed Kiki Jiki.
Sort of. He's 1/4 and he's got haste.
Yeah.
He got freaking haste for 3. You go 1, tap, create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control. It's a 1/1 red balloon creature in addition to its other colors and types and has flying and haste. Mm-hmm. And then you sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step, activate only as a sorcery. So who cares? As long as you can find a way to make 1 mana, like, I don't know, when a creature comes into play with something like Mana Echoes.
Sure.
This guy acts as a Kiki Jiki in the command zone where you can also play Kiki combo in red or white.
Dang.
That's what this does.
Yes, it does.
And that's very superficial, but I think mostly that's what we're going to see this guy doing.
I think you're going to get, like, kind of what we're talking about with Norn. It's like a Boros, ETB, do stuff deck.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
You might see a lot is I play Jolly Balloon Man, but there's no Kiki Jiki in it. Right?
Yeah.
Like that might be what you hear. I'm just trying to do like instead of Azorius Blink, I'm trying to do Boros Blink. I'm trying to do the BB.
Boros Blink Down. Is it a Boros Beatdown? Yeah.
What's the Boros Dink Down deck? That's what I want to know.
03 Sun's Glory.
Whose dink is down? And is it getting stomped?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, speaking of dink.
Is this yours? Is this the one? Are you pumped about
I
this?
wish this card had red in it.
Is
so
this
hard.
a good card?
This is the Mind Skinner.
Let me read this one.
This is the 4 Skinner.
Legendary enchantment creature nightmare 10/1 for blue, blue, blue.
You know I like 10 power creatures.
Can't be blocked. If a source you control would deal damage to a player, each opponent mills that many cards and you prevent the damage. You prevent the damage, each opponent mills that many cards.
So it can't be blocked. I hit you. You don't lose life, but you mill 10 cards.
Correct. And so do your other 2 opponents.
I immediately looked like 3 pop cans stacked on top of each other when I saw this card.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this would be so good in my Boro or in my my Bruvac Beatdown Boys.
Right?
This is the card, right?
Bruvac and the boys.
Bruvac and the Beatdown Boys. And they all got leather jackets with like spikes on the shoulders.
And
they
all
got
say
rolled up.
Beatdown boys on the back.
Yeah, rolled up cigarette packs in their sleeves.
Sure.
Right? And then I thought, man, if I could play this in a deck that had red, so I could play cards that say damage can't be prevented.
Oh, yeah.
There's the one Aftermath card that says damage can't be prevented and double all damage. I attack you with this, it can't be blocked, and it can't be prevented. Take 20, mill 20. That's what I want to do.
But it's blue.
but it's got blue in it, so I don't know what to do. Now, bonus points, it is an enchantment as well.
Sure.
So you could maybe find it in the 99 of Enchantress style decks. Man, it's each opponent instead of each player. I don't think it checks enough boxes for me to build it, but it might check enough boxes to be in the Bruvac and the Beatdown Boys gang.
Sure.
And it certainly checks the boxes to go into an Is It Mill deck, where you can play all of the spells that mill, as you do,
Yep.
with all of the spells that copy, like Reverberate and
Sure.
and Fork, and as you do,
Yep.
and all the damage doublers that care specifically about Mind Skinner. So that might be the deck.
Neat. I think that it's on its surface, like to build this as a commander, it kind of forces you to do mono blue aggro, where you have to get in there for damage, except instead of trying to kill everybody from 40, you're trying to kill them from 93, which is just a stupid idea.
Fuck yeah, man. Magic on hard mode.
Right?
Mono blue beatdown?
Mono blue aggro, 93 health.
That sounds like a frickin' Commander Cookout deck. Somebody send that in. Mono blue beatdown. Have we done mono blue frickin' Doomsday? We can do mono blue beatdown with the boys. We can do that.
That's, you know what? You're right. Now that I've said it out loud.
Get some artifact love in there. Get some colossal hammer on this guy. He hits you for 20.
Fuck that. No. We're going to beat down with dudes the way Garfield intended.
Blue lightning bolt. Frickin' mind bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of take 3 for 1 or whatever it is, I'm going to mind bomb you over and over. Yes.
That's cool because it's a little bombshell opening up and a brain's falling out of it. I love that card. That's a good one.
Send it in. I'm willing to feature this deck and build it. This guy, he checks so many of the boxes. He has 10 power, and his mana cost is frickin' 3.
Yeah.
This dumbass idiot has 1 toughness. As if playing mill isn't hard enough. I'm going to make my commander frickin' cost 5 and then 9 and then 11 and 7 because he has 1 toughness. He checks all the boxes for me, but I don't really have a place for him because my Bruvac isn't the Beatdown Boys anymore. It's like a CEDH deck. Oops.
Jesus Christ.
The Swarm Reaver.
Man, we got lots to do here.
Swarm Reaver. This is a scarecrow, but it cares about insects. And what are we supposed to do with this?
Here's a card. Here's something that I don't like on a card. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this because we're gonna talk about this a lot tomorrow and over a couple of cards here. I think Delirium is stupid. I don't like it because it relies on you like playing instants and sorceries, sure, which is fine. You're gonna do that,
Yeah.
but like your stuff has to die or you have to mill it yourself. It's so many hoops to jump through just to make your card do what it's supposed to do. And a lot of them don't have effects that I would say are good enough to warrant having to jump through hoops. A Bug Lord that gives Death Touch, I already have that, and I don't have to mill myself. I don't have to have my creatures and
this guy's not even a
planeswalkers
bug.
die. Like, I don't like them.
I got another hot take.
Tell me.
Ish. The Wandering Rescuer is a standard card, and I'm not even going to talk about it.
I was going to say, like, can we just jump over that one? And
Okay.
we're going to do it. So Swarm Weaver, I think, is the Wandering Rescuer. Is Toby Beastie Befriender, we talked about him a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
As far as aesthetics go, he's a 1/1 for white 2.
Is this Sully and Boo for Monsters, Inc.?
Is
that who this is?
I don't think so, because Sully was also a monster. I actually thought for a while that this was Tetsuo from Akira.
I also think the new kids movie IF, Imaginary Friends, I think also that. But that isn't a horror movie. I don't know what this is supposed to be.
There's lots of movies where kids have like demon friends that hang out with them. That's a tropey thing. There's like a TV series I think that's about that. Kind of Beetlejuice, I guess, if you wanted to go that way. Or what was the one that I had in my head as I was saying that? It's gone. I'm sorry. It's gone. Death Note.
Sure. Toby, this is going to go in your white inclusive token decks because as long as you control 4 or more creature tokens you control have flying.
And keep in mind, the token that he makes, not legendary. So if you can blink this dude,
Oh.
you're going to make 4/4 tokens that just have to attack with each other. You could put it in that shard deck that we
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
exile it, you could turn right, and now you got your shards are 4/4s, and then Toby comes back in, makes another 4/4. Now your 4/4s all fly in you, right?
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I thought about having like some bigger tokens, 3/3s, 4/4s, and when you give them flying and make them like not able to be blocked, it's like, ooh, before like I've got 15 power on the table and you're at 12. I guess I'll give them all flying, and now you die. Like I thought this might be a finisher. I didn't even think about blinking it. Right, so that's
There
good.
you go. See, it's a cool card. Again, I don't think it's going to make the most exciting commander decks.
No, this is a 99er.
But in the 99, I think it's going to do lots of good stuff. Also, and we on to our next card, where I think
99 again.
is in the 99er. It's Tyvar the Pummeler. We all know how I feel about him on a personal level, and he's Azuri.
He's
Except he
Azuri
regenerates
Renegade leader.
himself instead of his friends because he's a piece of shit.
He's a Azuri Renegade leader. He's Kamal the Fister. He's Crater Hoof Behemoth, and he goes in your Elf Ball deck. He literally does the same thing as all those cards for roughly the same mana elevation.
Yeah.
Is he better than Azuri? He regenerates himself. He only costs 3 though. He
Just
gives
like
you
Azuri.
instead of Overrun, he gives you Overwhelming Stampede, which could be better, especially because he's got 3 power himself. But essentially, he's similar enough to be under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
And if you want redundancy at that effect, which you probably do in your Elf Ball deck, especially if you're in a meta that doesn't like to run tutors, and probably it's going to be in your black-green Elf Ball deck. And if you're not running Vampiric and Demonic Tutor in those decks, you want a 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th version of pay, 5 or 9 mana to give my guys +10 and win the game.
Yeah.
I think that's the evaluation. I don't think that this guy is going to be the guy that replaces any current elf commander.
No.
So this guy's a 99er.
Correct. Let's talk about Valga. I've tried to say this name so many times. Valgavoth Terror Eater. He is the house. He is the plane.
He's bringing the house.
He's a 9/9 for 9. Black, 6. Elder Demon. Is he one of the Liliana's demon things?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Flying, lifelink, ward, sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. So the odds are, unless somebody sweeps him up in a Wrath of God, he's going to hang around forever once you resolve him.
Oh, this card is so good.
If a card would go into your opponent's graveyard from anywhere, I believe,
Opponent's graveyard from anywhere.
you exile it instead.
That's Leyline of Black. Void.
Yes.
Leyline of the Void.
Then, during your turns, you can cast any cards exiled with him by paying life instead of its mana cost.
So that's
Bolas'
Bolas'
Citadel.
This card's good.
Yeah, this is a good card.
Cost 9 mana. I can get past that, though.
You can definitely just put it into your bin and then reanimate it. Then it costs 1 mana.
I will, and you take 9, but he got lifelink.
But he has lifelink.
Yes, so you just gain it back.
So it costs 1.
Yeah, so I can get this guy on turn 2 and fuck you. Yeah. I can tutor him in black. I can play the big black mana package.
Yep.
I can exile your stuff, which is already powerful. People are playing ley lines, right? And I can play your stuff. I can, oh man, this guy fucks.
He's very, very good. He's, there's a card in Dungeons and Dragons that had like a contortion. You had to like be a contortionist to squeeze yourself through all the hoops that he demanded for you to do this exact thing. Except this one also lets you play the spells for essentially free.
This guy's going in Demon decks. This guy's going in Liliana decks. This guy's going in Shadowborn Apostles decks.
The shitbag combo decks.
Yeah, this guy's going in Big Black decks. This guy's going in Elder decks because we got lots of those now.
It goes in every deck that cares about playing your opponent's stuff instead of yours.
Yeah.
Right? This is a really good card and appropriately costed to not be super broken, but we'll find a way of breaking it eventually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Black finds a way. That's what it does.
Yeah, that's a cool card, though. I like that one.
Okay, let's shift gears. Victor Valgavoth's Senchal.
Man,
this card
can,
sucks.
It can fuck all
What
the
is
way
this?
off.
What is the point of this card? Whenever an enchantment you control enters, or whenever you fully unlock a room, surveil 2. If it's the first time this ability resolves. If it's the second time, opponent discards a card. Each opponent.
Yeah.
If it's the third time, get a creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield. When am I going to unlock 3 doors? When am I going to get 3 enchantments? Like maybe, okay, it's got white in it if I replenish. If I'm going out and spending $100 on a replenish just to make this guy maybe good.
Serviceable?
After I mill myself? So what the fuck is this card?
Because you're not going to rely on your own creatures. You can't really rely on having a bunch of enchantments come into play because you can't even play the lady that makes the shard tokens because she's blue. Right? Like this guy sucks.
This guy sucks.
Cam, let's move on to the... You know what? These last 2 suck too. We did it again. We were ending on cards that suck.
No. I like Winter Misanthropic Guide.
Misanthropic Guide. That's a dislike for your fellow humans. It's like being taciturn. You don't like people.
I like this one. This is Jund and 1 for a human warlock. Ward 2 at the beginning of your upkeep. Each player draws 2.
Sure.
So we've seen that before on Font of Mythos, kind of.
Sort of.
So we've got that. Yep. And it's got Delirium, your favorite.
I love Delirium. Boy, howdy.
As long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, each opponent's maximum hand size is equal to 7 minus the number of those cards. So it's going to count card types in your graveyard. Sound familiar? Mm-hmm. We just did the Disa Tarmogoyf deck on that. Yep. And I think this goes in that deck, and I think that you could do the commander swap with the Disa makes Tarmogoyf tokens and this because it cares about card types in your graveyard, and if you want to play aggro and be on the offensive, make Tarmogoyfs. Yep. If you want to do the Jund thing and get value and make your opponents discard and keep their hands full and empty at the same time, you switch to this commander, and I think that gives decks kind of another dynamic. And I love when people play those kinds of decks where I want this today and I'm going to swap the commander. I like those commander swap decks.
I'm just picturing the arguments that are going to happen around casual tables around this and Reliquary Tower.
Yes.
Your hand size is reduced by 4. Yeah, but I don't have I have an unlimited hand size. Well, when did you play that land? When did I play when? Oh my God.
How does that work?
Whichever one comes in second matters.
Huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I guess let us know in the comments. Is that how that works?
Yep.
That seems too easy.
I know. I know.
Zimone all questioning.
Man, fuck this card. Fuck this card, man. And here's why. I mean, I'm going to look like a dope right now, but I don't care. I'm going to bring Gary down with me. Hey, Gary.
Yeah, buddy.
What's a prime number?
Optimist.
If it didn't come through on the microphone, he said Optimus, which is also correct.
Yes.
Which is also correct. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
When I asked Sam, hey, what's a prime number? Off the top of her head, she didn't know.
It's a number that's only divisible by 1 and itself to give you the answer of 1.
Yes, that is what a prime number is.
Okay.
And now you know. So what are all the prime numbers without looking at the card?
1, 3, 7, 11. What are all the prime numbers? Mathematicians don't know what all the prime numbers are.
Yeah, up to like a reasonable number of prime numbers.
Numbers that we would see in a Magic game.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hold on. Without
looking at the card.
At the beginning of your... No, I'm going to read it. At the beginning of your end step, if a land entered the battlefield under your control this turn, you create a 0/0 with a prime number of +1/+1 counters on it, right?
Yeah. That's legendary.
2, 3, 7, 11, 17?
I don't fucking know.
27?
Bust out the calculator
31?
on your phone, baby.
Oh, 19, 17, 13, 23, 29, and 31. Oh, 27 is divisible by 3 or 9. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you don't need to go up past that because
you're probably not going to have more than 31 lands.
Yeah.
Though I might.
You could, but probably not.
This one, we're going to see it in Simic Bullshit, and it's going to be the bullshittiest deck.
Oh, it's going to be so fucking stupid. And here's the thing. You're going to play, if you play it too early as a commander, you're going to get a 2/2 that nobody's ever going to block ever because then you can't get the other one. Well, I guess you can. You just kill it. But it's stupid. This is a stupid card, and I hate it. It requires you to know, like, I'm not going to say high-end math stuff, but, like, you have to be able to, like, do math in your head. How many fucking lands do I have? I hate stuff like that.
Oh, man.
I do not like that.
Okay.
I do not.
Well,
Zimone can fuck off and stay fucked off.
Because we have an episode to do tomorrow, and you can tune back in right here on, I guess, whatever platform you listen on, YouTube or podcast. Big thanks to Editor Joe for putting up with us. Big thanks to FusionGamingOnline.com. If you want to pick up any of the cards we talked about today, CCO Summer promo code is going to get you a discount. CCO Perks if it's your first time, you're spending over 100 Canadian dollars. And both of those let Fusion know that their partnership with CCO is a good one and that you're a good person for using the code.
We got a fly in here. I'm going to name it Zimone.
Zimone, the prime number fly.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thought of the day?
Final thought of the
Norn,
day.
you're building Norn.
I'm going to build Norn. Are you
Good.
going to... you got anything?
Send me a Mind Skinner deck. I wanna explore that commander in depth.
Mind Skinner Big Beat. Send them along. That's what we're kind of asking for. If you have deck lists, keep them coming. We're going to review them. We're going to talk about some of them. Not tomorrow, but maybe on a future episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!